Hello there, this is Alicia from ayurvedawithalicia.com, and I have a question for you today. It's the holiday season, and I'm wondering if you're starting to feel increasingly more sluggish and slow and maybe bloated, or your eyes are starting to feel like they're just a little heavier in the morning when you wake up, and all of those kinds of cumulative effects of the holidays, right? Are you feeling like scattered and just a little bit drained by this point in the game? So if that's you, then I want to share with you today 6 of the reasons why you might be feeling that way, and another bunch of reasons, quick, easy, I wouldn't say reasons, a bunch of easy things that you can do right away to not feel that way and to not have that sluggishness carry over into the new year. So I'll share like 6 to 8 things, exactly what to do to counteract all of the things I want to share. So number 1 of the 6 reasons why you might be feeling more and more sluggish every day, one is food combining. Now, I know so often when there's like lots of amazing holiday gatherings going on and there's all kinds of different foods, sometimes it's potluck, sometimes it's, appetizers and hors d'oeuvres and kind of like a buffet style, just like snacky things at different cocktail parties and stuff like that. And one of the things that, at least in our culture here in the US, that's really common is like fruit platters mixed with cheese and crackers and sometimes like meats and stuff like that. And food combining, one of the worst food combinations that will contribute to sluggishness and just feeling drained and tired all the time is fruit with these heavy, fatty, more dense foods, because fruit has a lot of sugar in it and it's digested very quickly. And if it has to be held back in the stomach because you put nuts or cheese or meat mixed with the fruit, it will actually cause the fruit to ferment in your stomach and kind of putrefy because it's staying in there a little too long. And that causes lots of gas and bloating and just discomfort, sometimes distension, and it causes you to feel really, really sluggish because all of your energy is drained from the rest of your body, especially from your mind, and it goes into your stomach to try to work overtime to digest an incompatible food combination. So food combination is one, eating lots of different things at the same time. Then, number 2, we also have your enzymes in your body reach their peak at around 12 noon. So they kind of follow the sun. So right when the sun rises, you wake up, you start feeling, start getting a little hungry. You break your fast with breakfast in the morning, and then your hunger builds until lunch. Now, physiologically, the enzymes in your body are at their peak state when the sun is up. So that means the longer that you wait to eat, after the sun has set, you have a dramatically decreased ability to absorb the nutrients of the foods, or even just to break them down, simply break them down after the sun goes down. So the later you eat, the more sluggish you'll feel the next day. If you have a late dinner, even if it's, a light dinner, you will still likely feel sluggish the next day. So the lighter meal that you can eat for dinner, the earlier, the better, and the more nourishing and nutrient dense so that you're feeling satiated. So a lot of the holiday parties that carry on into the night and there's snacky foods that you're, grazing all night, it really decreases your body's ability to break them down, and therefore you're left feeling more and more sluggish the next day. And that actually brings me to the next point, is that adding food into your stomach before the previous meal was fully digested also will create massive amounts of sluggishness in your system. So think about it this way. If you're cooking a pot of rice on the stove and it's about halfway done, so it's, there's still some water in there and the grain is cooking nicely, what would happen if you threw more raw rice on top of that? Right? At the end of your time, it's going to be crunchy and half of it's going to be cooked and the other half is going to be inedible. So you can think about that with any food that you would cook. But it's kind of the same thing in your stomach. So if you're eating, kind of grazing a few bites here, and then a half an hour later, you're eating something else, and then 45 minutes later, you're trying this over here, and this goes on for hours and hours, your body is thinning its ability to fully break anything down completely, and again, causing you to feel massively sluggish and tired definitely by the end of the night, but certainly even in the upcoming days. So overeating, obviously, is another obvious one that would make you feel tired and sluggish. But I want you to consider something. When you do a load of laundry, what would happen if you packed the clothes into the washing machine all the way to the brim? You barely had any room for like water or soap. Your clothes aren't going to get clean, right? So the same thing happens in your digestion when there's no room for the churning to happen. So your stomach is so stretched and expanded. It's kind of like just overstuffing that washing machine. And it's just totally stretched and expanded and stuffed. There's no room. Churning has to happen. So it's kind of like a washing machine in your stomach, right? If I could use that as an analogy. It needs to move around in order for the enzymes to interact with all the molecules that are in your foods to break it down. So overeating not only makes you just feel tired at the time, but it also creates massive sluggishness as that amount of food has to then travel through your whole digestive system. And it often even clogs up your colon and other areas of your body, so that drags your energy down for days. And even if you overeat by just a quarter of a cup, the Ayurvedic texts say, even if you overeat by just a quarter of a cup, more than what you truly have the capacity to eat, that food will become ama, or toxins. So that food then becomes this slushy, stagnating, sticky substance that your body is now trying to use to build new life and new cells. So really, it's okay to just eat till you're satisfied and not to overdo it and overstuff. Okay, let me not get into the recommendations just yet. So that was 4 of our 6 so far. So the last 2 are, one has to do with just overstimulus. So when it comes to these holiday parties and you're thinking about interacting with lots of people and cocktail parties and you're having conversations and there might be a sports game going on the TV and music playing at the same time and lots of different people to interact with and meet, some of who you may know, some of whom you may not know. So I think there's sometimes a sense inside of us that, reaches to food for comfort in those situations because it feels a little more grounding than, having to interact with all these people, like all this energy, right? So there's a lot of just stimulus happening in the environment. And anytime our attention is drawn to something, it actually takes away from our digestive ability as well. So if you're in a really stimulating environment and you're trying to eat, it's actually going to decrease your body's ability to be able to fully digest that food, therefore leaving you really tired and sluggish. So I know I'm tying this a lot back into food, but clearly just the overstimulus in and of itself also drains the adrenals. And if you don't take, quiet time to be still and help balance some of that outward moving energy with your ability to just go internal and rejuvenate yourself from the inside out. So overstimulus. And then number 6 of this list is poor quality foods. So as you are probably very, very aware of, there are so many highly refined treats and baked goods and enriched flours that are just stripped of all nutrients and really, really hard for the body to digest. Wheat and sugar, especially highly processed forms of sugar. Most of the oils out there in the conventional grocery stores and in restaurants are actually rancid oils that are very difficult for your body to break down and will cause a lot of sluggishness and draining of your energy. So just simply the quality of the foods that you're eating during this time of year, and on top of the other practices that we just mentioned, really just drain your energy, and they wreck the digestive tract and the digestive system. They really wreak havoc on your gut. And anytime the gut is in havoc, your energy is going to be drained, and you just continue to feel more and more sluggish. And then on top of it, I didn't add this is an obvious one, but number 7 could be, stimulants. And so like drinking a lot of caffeine, coffee, very acidic things, as well as alcohol, which obviously, is taken in higher consumption or consumed more often around the holidays. So all of those things really continue. They really kick, the whole adrenal complex in the side and try to like get it to pump out extra, things to keep you awake and alive, or they're just thrown off. The whole hormonal balance is really thrown off. So those are some things to consider. Some things maybe that you didn't know, and some that maybe were totally common sense, but maybe you just didn't think about them in this context, in a season that just kind of carries us away with all of the stuff going on. So now I want to share with you some of the things that you can do about that. And you can correct this very easily on your own and not totally feel sluggish and into the new year. And I know that's really important for your intentions and all the amazing goals that maybe you have for the upcoming year. So you don't want to carry all of that sluggishness into 2014, or whenever you're watching this video, the new year. So here's a few things that you can do. And by the way, if you're wondering why I'm sitting in my car, it's because I was going to take you into the park today, and it's rainy and cold. So I just decided I'm going to stay warm and cozy in my car and speak to you and share from here. So number 1, what to do. Let's see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 plus recommendations for you. So number 1, write this down. 1 is eat fruit alone. Like we talked about the food combining, eat the fruit alone or eat it first. So you can eat for a little bit of fruit. Say you get to that party and you want to have a few bites of the fruit, and then you mingle and talk and maybe sip tea or some kind of digestive drink that we can talk about later, such as kombucha or something like that. And, have some fruit and then mingle and talk to people. And maybe at least 30 minutes later, then snack on some of the other things. Or better yet, that would be just, the food combining piece. Better yet, before you go to the cocktail party in the evening, have a nourishing dinner, like right around sunset or before sunset, or as close as possible to it, right? So that your body feels nourished and satiated. And you're not going into the cocktail party or whatever gathering it is, unless, of course, it's a dinner gathering, which I'll tell you what to do about that, too. But say it's a cocktail party that's late into the evening and you don't want to go there starving and then be snacking for multiple hours. You can have like a nourishing meal with good nutrients in a quiet environment before you go to the party. And then maybe if it's 2 hours later, which is an ideal time, you can eat some fruit if you really want to snack on something at the party, or if you have true hunger. Or better yet, make a, yummy digestive cocktail, which I'll give you a recipe for. And you can sip that out of a wine glass, and it'll help your digestion, and you will thank me the next day, because you will wake up with the energy, and instead of your eyelids feeling like sticky and swollen and tired. So you can do that throughout the party. So number 2 suggestion would be have your dinner first before the cocktail party, and then at the party, just sip ginger tea or sip some kind of detox tea or a kombucha, which is a probiotic drink, or a coconut water kefir. And you can sip that out of a wine glass and still feel like you're enjoying the cocktail party. Even like red wine in Ayurveda in small amounts is used as a digestive aid. It does help kindle the digestive enzymes, so sipping a little bit of red wine with your meal can help the digestion as well. There's also some great herbal mixtures that I'll give you a link to that you can use to help promote good digestion, more energy, and then not not feel sluggish and drained and all of that, and prevent any stomach bloating and stuff like that. So I'll give you a link to that below the video. And, okay, so eating dinner. Oh, good. I got all those points. Number 3. So we talked about this kind of already. So avoid grazing. So really, you really want to avoid eating, just for hours, 4 hours of a party, just snacking little things, because it drains your energy again. So again, what you can do for that is eat your dinner beforehand, or like I said, sip something that throughout. So those kind of points went together. So 1, 2, and 3. So 1, eat fruit alone. 2, eat dinner before the cocktail party. 3, avoid grazing the whole time you're there. Just make connections with people instead. Feel grounded and comfortable in who you are to just be able to reach out and connect with someone. Ask some questions. Really just engage in conversation. And one of the best ways to do that is just asking people questions about their lives and those types of things. So you can feel nourished by that instead of feeling like you have to reach for foods and graze throughout. Okay, number 4, obviously, try not to overeat. And the best way you could do that is, number 5, breathe. So breathing keeps us really present. You'll notice when you engage in overeating that you're probably not breathing. So these 2 points go hand in hand. They're both really important because breathing, slow, deep breaths, and allowing the diaphragm to really expand and let your belly relax, that will promote your digestive enzymes and better digestion. Otherwise, if the stomach is tight and you're breathing shallow breaths, it will actually cause the blood to move away from your stomach into the rest of your limbs and things like that, and it won't promote the blood flow that you need to digest that meal, and then you get indigestion and bloating and super sluggish and tired the next day. So being mindful and breathing helps you to not overeat, because you can actually start to feel when, as you continue on this path of mindfulness in your health practices and in your eating practices, that you reach a point where you feel satiated, but maybe you're used to feeling the stretched feeling and you think that's what fullness is. But that stretched feeling is overstuffing the washing machine. So you want to stop when you're satiated. And the food will not go to waste. The food will either go to waste outside your body in the garbage can, or it's going to totally go to waste inside your body where your body has to process that waste. So think of it, get a compost bin or something so you don't feel like your food's going to waste if you're not eating at all, but try to break that habit of feeling like overeating because you don't want something to go to waste. So there's 1, eat fruit alone first. 2, eat dinner before the party. 3, avoid grazing. 4, don't overeat. 5, make sure to breathe. And 6, you could also, if it's a potluck or a dinner party, you can bring a healthy dish to share. And now I'm really excited. I have a few recipes on my website, so you can click the link below for some recipe ideas of things that you can bring to share. But as we head into the new year, just at the turn of the new year, I'm going to be launching my e-cookbook. So there's over 100 recipes that are Ayurvedically inspired and all plant-based and whole foods based that I will be telling you more about around the new year. So that will be a great guide for what you can do to balance your body and to have more energy. It's called the Abundant Energy Cookbook. So that will be stock full of ideas and lots of great dishes that you can bring for potluck style or dish to share. But even if it's not potluck style this holiday season, you can still bring a dish to share. Something that like a quinoa salad or a nice big salad with a yummy dressing or a rice dish or something like that. Something that is going to feel really nutrient rich and energy rich for you, rather than just feeling like, oh, I'm at the, and feel like you're contributing and don't feel like you're completely powerless to whatever the host is going to be making. And it's kind of a fun way, and it's a conversation starter. So I'm holding my computer up. Sorry, I'm bouncing it around quite a bit. Okay, so bring a healthy dish to share. And then number 7, what to do if you do overeat or have poor food combining, because it happens to all of us, and you can balance your body regardless. So even if you don't use a lot of the tips that I mentioned today are prevention tips that I totally understand are not always feasible. So if you do poor food combining and the next day you feel pretty down, there are a few really, really powerful things that you can do to reset your body and to not continue to feel bad. So are you excited, or do you want me to share them with you? Okay, here's the last thing for today. So if you have one of those nights that you feel like just, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that, oh no, what should I do? Here's what you should do. Before you go to bed, take Triphala. Triphala is an Ayurvedic herb that is a very, very strong detoxer, and it will help your body break down any of the stuff you overate that could turn to the sludge that we talked about earlier, ama. It'll break down ama. It'll help your digestion. It'll promote healthy, easeful elimination in the morning so that all of the stuff you ate doesn't get stuck and stagnated in your gut. So it'll help you get rid of that comfortably, easily. So first thing before you go to bed, take Triphala with hot water. There's a link below to do that. And then in the morning, very, very first thing you do in the morning is drink hot water with a squeeze of lemon to help promote your bowels to empty. That will, again, give you more energy, because if you rush into your day and you don't have that, you will get increasingly tired throughout the day. So if you do notice you're getting bloated or have some stomach upset, you can drink CCF tea, we call it in Ayurveda. It's a detox tea, and I have a recipe for you on that. It's just cumin, coriander, and fennel seeds steeped in hot water and to make a tea. That'll help decrease bloating. It'll, again, help remove any of the extra toxins and digest all of the yucky food combinations or poor quality foods that you may have put into your body. So it'll really help you reset. And the next day, okay, 2 more things. So the next day you want to eat a really, really simple, easy to digest meal. So something like khichdi, which I teach you how to do on my website. You can make khichdi, or any kind of one-pot simple meal. So a one-pot meal might look like vegetables and quinoa all in one pot cooked together. Something, very, very easy to digest. Or rice and vegetables in one pot, and then you eat that for lunch and dinner, and that's it. Or even breakfast you could eat, but try to space the meals out and eat like a mono diet for one day after the festivities. So making sure that you're eliminating, having a simple, easy to digest diet, having some teas throughout the day. You could also drink ginger tea throughout the day with simple ginger tea bag. Oh my goodness, sorry, my phone is on. That's so loud. I thought I had that off. We're almost done. So you can do a simple ginger tea bag, which will help digestion, and it will kindle your enzymes that could have been suppressed from the night before. And then last thing is, if you're having a lot of digestive upset, I am so happy that I finally found, oh my goodness, he made it onto my video, my boyfriend. So I'm so happy I found a really powerful probiotic that will heal, it's gut healing, and it really adding all these potent, powerful probiotics, good bacteria into your gut will help you break down all of the nutrients that you're putting in, all the good nutrients, and it will prevent the bad bacteria from overgrowing. So when the bad bacteria overgrow, they will cause sugar cravings, and they'll make you crave bread, and they'll make you crave more of the unhealthy food items. But when your body is flooded with good bacteria, you'll crave more healthy food into the new year to help you reach your goals. I mean, just in general. So I also gave you a link below that will share with you the absolute best probiotic that I have found to date, and I've used it for gut healing with clients, and it's really phenomenal. So I highly recommend you check it out, and there's a video with a bunch of information and research that they've done on it. It's a really good product, and I don't say that lightly. I only promote things that I really, really believe in and have tried myself. So an extra strong, great probiotic would help as well. So I hope those 7, 8, I don't know what we're actually up to, 7 or 8 or 9 or 10 things that you can do to prevent sluggishness this holiday season, and use just one of them. Even if you just take one of these tips into your day, I'm sure it'll be helpful for you. But have an amazing holiday. I'm so grateful you are in my life. And write me an email. Let me know how the tips help you. And also for the holidays, I'm going to be giving away some free health strategy sessions right at the beginning of the new year, the week of January 6th. So if you want some help getting more energy and getting on track with your health and overcoming the holiday sluggishness or all of those things, really to step into the healthiest version of yourself for 2014, then I would love for you to send me an email, let me know you're interested. You can actually, you know what? I'll put a link below so that you can be entered to win one of these free health strategy sessions. So we'll do the first 5 people that click on the link below and fill out the application. You will get a free health strategy session with me the first full week of the new year, or the week of January 6th. After the holidays, after I'm home from my holiday travels. So click that link, fill out that application. I would love to speak with you live in person. It would be so amazing. And have a fabulous holiday. I'll be in touch. And so, so, so much love and blessings to you and your family. Take care.